Good morning, everyone. Today I woke up very excited about a lot of things. I had the chance to watch Hawaiian Crab Shooter. I think it was their latest their latest casino visit just aired. And I saw a few people that basically they're my friends, and they come on my streams every day without fail. They watch me. One of them is Robert from Hawaii, South Maui. The other one was H. Young, Hazel. And I was very excited because it's always nice, first of all, to put a face to the name. Secondly, because I got to watch her shoot. And I think I have a few kind of suggestions that may make sense to Hazel if she wants to actually improve on what she's doing and if she has a passion for it. So that's the first part. The second part was that I'm beginning to formulate a more sort of concrete dice strategy for people to use from their first throw onwards during their game. Because I noticed people like Toothpick Ted, for example, very, very sort of accomplished shooter. I watched Chef Dice from a very good angle this time, shoot the dice. I watched Hazel, Mrs. Manishot, and Manishot, Brian, and hey SJ, how are you, man? Good morning. So I got very excited about this because I see them employing different sets, and in the case of Hazel, I think she was using a 6.263, 6.263, yeah. And I saw some of the results: a 5.38, a double pitch, a 2.46 double pitch, things like that, and it got me thinking. It got me thinking that I can actually help if only I can give a roadmap to people to sort of come up with a plan. All right, so here's the start of that roadmap. The set that I will be using to start any session is going to be a 1.565. There's a lot of reasons for it. If I stay on axis, I will involve the primary 167, the hard 10, hard 4, and the 617 at the bottom, which is good. On a secondary, I would involve the 6-5 yo, 3 craps, and that's it. I think that's the extent of the results that you get on this. So you involve the pass line, but it also gives you indications. The other indicator is this: if I go off axis on a 3, let's say I implode a 3, but my dice are same color. Hey Hazel, it's so nice to see you on a live. I think it was you shooting with Hawaiian Crab Shooters, and I was so excited and so happy to see you shoot. So I understand a few of the predicaments. It was okay, very good. I understand some of the predicaments that you might be going through throwing dice. So I will probably reach out. Yeah, I heard Mrs. Manishot asking me about that. So kudos to you. You look quite nervous, but at the same time, I think we will, if you want, I could offer a few pointers for you. Anyway, back to this set that we can start with, a 1565. It's just an example. It could be a 1551, but it should be a kissing set, and there is a reason for that. If we implode a die, whether it's the left die or the right die, we already know that it's an implosion, which is one of the movements that we always try to sort of examine. If we explode the die, any one of the two, it's going to be a 4 or a 4. So we know it's an explosion. So without having the color of the dice, without knowing which die is left or right, we already know, we have a lot of information, and that is going to help us. Hey Jeremy, hi Troy. Okay, so right off the bat, I can see that the table is too high for you. So I saw what you were doing. You were actually reaching down, picking up the dice. And there's a challenge here. What I would do is actually lower my body to the table and rest my arm, my left arm on the table, so that it gives me the opportunity to be very close to the table when I'm shooting, but also, as opposed to shooting like this, which is we're using this plane to throw the dice towards the back wall, we're using this plane. I know it's a bit difficult, it may be a bit challenging, and I think I had the same conversation with Magic Aces when I was in Vegas, I think two years ago. And we had this discussion at an empty table at the El Cortez. And I think that actually helped in a bit. Very simple. The other thing I would suggest is something that Mar from, I think she's called Marster, she does. She wears platform shoes which help her improve the position that she stands at the table, making her more comfortable throwing like this. The reason why we do this, if we're going to use this kind of toss, is because the rotations of the dice are very important to be kind of parallel, traveling parallel to the table surface, so that when they hit, we don't get any surprises. If you don't want to use that sort of throw, then there are other throws like a stacked set, which might be more convenient for you, but also you have to start like this from the surface of the table, you know, and just throw them like Cashier's Cage is showing, or any kind of way that you seem, you know, you seem comfortable with, or even put them like so. But make sure that, you know, you throw them kind of parallel to the table, like so. So, I know it's a challenge. There are physical attributes that may sort of get in the way of sort of throwing this kind of shot that we do. But it's worth actually investing the time to find what is a more natural way to throw the dice. So yeah, in order to improve that, I would say kind of a couple of inches higher shoe, but make sure that you're comfortable. Comfort is very, very important in this game, simply because of the time that you spend at the table just standing around and just putting bets up. So that would definitely help. I'm trying to be sort of politically correct here, but obviously people that have are challenged by the height of the table, need to actually use what they have in order to come down, lean over the table, be in a comfortable situation, fold their arm towards the table so that they have a more comfortable and stable position, and have a 3-point contact with the table. Your 2 feet and your arm. Sorry, you can't see that, can you? So I'm suggesting this. Arm is the 1 point and the feet are the other 2 points, which create a tripod whereby the whole position is comfortable. Also, maybe a challenge as well, but one of your feet, if you're shooting from stick left, should be slightly back. The right foot should be slightly back in order to improve your core action towards the back wall and not to strain yourself, basically. All right. Thank you so much for. I would like to thank Brian for putting other shooters in to show us what's going on. Also, I watched my good friend Robert shoot. That was interesting. Robert, he's very accomplished, very calm, lands the dice almost at the same position. I've got nothing to add in terms of the style that he's trying, but I believe that I think it's time for Robert to start understanding other families of sets as opposed to just shooting the hardware set, because you're very welcome, SJ. Because Robert was on a 5-4-5-4 set. Sometimes he would use 6-2, 6-2, hardways. And as the role was progressing, he was staying more and more on axis. And I'm thinking to myself, Robert, please change the set, change the family of set, use a 3V, a 2V, a cross 6s set. And he didn't. And he double pitched the set on axis. So we want long rolls. We want to prolong the rolls that we keep at the table. So I'm just going to kind of try and develop a roadmap. This is something of an inspiration I had after watching people shoot today. So I'm going to start with the 1.565, as I said. I could employ single color dies because that's what you use at the casino. But for this, for the purpose of this video, let's just go with this 1.565. 1, 2, 5, 6, yo. So let's go here. What information does it give me? Whether it's 2 colors or 1 color. Same result, whether I was on blue dice or whatever. It's telling me you're staying on axis. On a 2 count, you're staying on axis. Secondary. Let's try it again. 1.565. 2 count. 2. 6-1. You're staying primary. So what is it supporting? It's supporting the idea of me being on V sets for now. So the V sets are winning. 1.565. And the positions of the dice or the set that I'm using is a very, very strong sort of benchmarker for me. 437, that's a drift. Another supporter for the V-sets. 1565. I still haven't established the point, but I don't care. I'm getting good information about where I should be going. So there is 3 rolls which support me being on V-sets. 1, 2, 6, 1. That's another primary. So I'm translating in my head now. The 6, 1 is a hard 8. The 1, 6 is a hard 6. The 3, 4, 7 that I got before is a 1, 2, 3. And the secondary that I got, the 5, 6 yo, is a 2, 4, 6. So everything has a reason. And this is the best set, the kissing set, to start off. That's the roadmap. I don't need the same color dice. If it was a 6-5, for example, not a 5-6, okay, the 6-5 is a what? Is a 5-3-8 translated to the 3V set. All right. So we got enough information. The set chosen is a 3-2-3-6. That's out. Two, 4, 6. Remember we mentioned the 2, 4, 6. So we are secondary on axis. Let's imagine both dice being blue dice or red dice, whatever. We got a 4 out of it, so we know that we should be sticking to original sets with the hard base on top. 2, 4, 6. This is where the 2 colors become important. 3, 2, 3, 6. Just to give you more analysis. Sticking to original sets. 2, 6, 8 primary. I don't need 2 colors to tell me another piece of information. That I didn't get a 4, I didn't get a 3 in the result. So 2, 10, quarter turn the dice. That was an original, I mean that was a primary result. I'm gonna turn the dice to 5, 3, 1, 3. This is the information that I'm getting. I need to see a 3 or a 5 in the results. Let me just turn the camera a little bit so that you guys can see the dice chart. It's the same set, it's a 3, 2, 3, 6, just quarter turn towards me. Dice out. 1, 5, 6 implosion. Both dice imploded. That gives me 225. Let's go 210, 115 for the pass. Now this result, I would have not been able to predict the color of it, whether it was an implosion or what, but it told me something else. You didn't get a 3 or a 4. So back to original sets. 3, 2, 3, 6. Dice out. 3, 5, 8. I got a 3 out of it. And now we're talking about rotations. We need to have rotations that bring us to the hard way. So 3, 2, 3, 6. I'm just gonna stick with one set and just tell you that I'm after the 3 or the 4. I'm not gonna go to 2 V's or cross 6s. Boxcars, that's explosion. So with explosion of my left die, from a 3, 2, 3, 6, I have to go like this. Oh, it's an explosion, let's move away. So we go to 2, 4, 6, 4. Dice out. 1. Boxcars again. The explosion didn't hurt us. However, mechanics are actually changing, and we're seeing that our mechanics are telling us, you're one off axis before on the 3, 5, 8. You're not sure whether it was a 5, 3 or a 3, 5, but you got 2 results, which suggest that you're no longer throwing on axis. What's the best set to go for? If it was a 5, 3, 8, that would have been a secondary. On the, let's say, on a V set. So hardways would have been okay, kissing sets would have been okay. Off axis 1, explosion, fine on both sets. So the last results, let's assume that they are off axis 1, back to the 1, 5, 6, 5. Dice out. 2 count. 4 to 6 explosion of my left die. I may not know whether it was the left or the right, but I know the 2 was on axis, the 4 is definitely inside. Whether it was left or right, it's irrelevant. Pays 455. I would very much like people who watch my channel to have a pair of dice with them so that they can follow along what I'm trying to do. And I'm also hoping that you're well versed in when I say 4262, you know what I'm talking about. We're safely off the table. One die was off axis, okay. Back to the 1, 5, 6, 5. Because we do want one die to be off axis. And with this particular set, with the kissing 4s and the 3s outside, whatever result is off axis, it's going to be a box number. So there we are again. We're trying to align bets with our dice results. But predominantly we're trying not to 7 out that quickly. And we're at the 11 rolls simply because we took the time at the beginning to use a set to define our first 2 or 3 rolls. One, 5, 6, 5. And define our mechanics, I would say. 2 count. 5, 4, 9. Now, when the dice land, you don't know whether this is left or right, but you do know on this set that this die was on axis, this one was an exploding die. So if we have an explosion or implosion, it keeps us away from V sets or cross 6s or 2 Vs, simply because there are more 7s on Vs and cross 6s as opposed to the hard ways or the kissing sets. There are no 7s if one dies off axis. 1, 5, 6, 5. Dice up. For a 2 count. 1, 2. 6, 5, yo. That's the first result, secondary axis. We are afraid now because we don't want axis. If we get a second one on axis, and God help us, we don't 7 out, we will move to another set. 2 count. 3, 2, 5. That was implosion. Whether it was left or right die is irrelevant, but it was an implosion. One, 5, 6, 5. Dice up. 1, 3, 4. Another off axis. Whether it's blue or red doesn't matter, we just know that it was implosion. And if you want to do the actual transposition, the 1, 3, 4 would have been a 3, 5, 8 for the 3B set. Have to drop 1, get 50, get it off the table. So I'm quite happy to continue with this set, 1, 5, 6, 5. Or play around with other sets. It doesn't need to be this one. It could be a 1, 3, 6, 3. You know, that's a kissing 5 set. But this one gives me inside results and boxes. If I take one die off axis. 2 count. 1, 4, 5. So the 4 was an explosion. Loving it. 1, 5, 6, 5. Dice up. 1, 2. Boxcars. Okay, that was a double pitch topside. It's the only set that when you double pitch topside, it doesn't 7 you out. So, you know, that's one of the advantages of this set. There are only 2 7s. double pitch. One, 5, 6, 5. Dice up. We're on 2 count. 1, 2. Heart 4. That's a primary. So 2 results in a row, which suggest what? That our mechanics are shifting a little bit. What I will do is go back to a V set. But because I was facing this side, I'm going to do what? 1, 4, 5 explosions. So explosion, move away. So it's a 3, 5, 1, 5. Very sort of complex process of thinking about results. 3, 5, 1, 5. Looking for a 5 or a 2. 1, 6 instead. Got it wrong. With a 3, 2, 5 face. Maybe I should have started with a hard 4, but that took it too far. I took it about 3 rolls before. 1, 6 is an explosion of my left. No, 1, 3, sorry, I was on a... Shouldn't I be on a 3, 5, 1, 5? Never mind. I even set my dice wrong. If I did that, I should have gotten a hard way. Hey Robert, I was just talking about you. Before I started rolling, I said I was very excited to see you guys shooting live. I have no comments whatsoever on your throw. I think it's flawless. What I would like to see you do is explore or consider other families of sets. That's it. You know, just putting it out there. I saw a lot of things going on with the table, so these are the things that stood out for me. Let's go with a 1, 2, 6, 2. It doesn't have to be a 1, 5, 6, 5. And in fact, let me change the dice so that I can demonstrate this in a kind of a real 1, 2, 6, 2. Now I don't know what die is going to be what, but I do know their positions much more accurately than I would know on a 3V or a hardware set. 1, 2, 6, 2. The 4s are outside, the 3s are kissing. 1, 2. 6 to 8, that's a secondary. That's the information I'm getting. One, 2, 6, 2. I'm not going to put any bets up before I have 3 rolls, because I need to make decisions based on those 3 rolls. 1, 2. Box cards, that's a double pitch on axis. One, 2, 6, 2. Dice up. 1, 2. That's a 459 or 549. So we got the implosion that we wanted. Well, for now the set remains a kissing set. Actually, it doesn't. The right set, well, because I got the 12, which is a double pitch, I got the 6 to 8, which is on axis. So that's 2 on axis, one of them, the next one is 1 off axis. I think the best set to be on right now should be the kissing set. So let's go 5, 4, 2, 4. Kissing aces with 6s outside. Five, 4, 2, 4. 2 count. One, 6. That's a drift. Ouch. Went to 1, 2, 6, 2. Original previous set. And here's the kicker. To the best of my ability, I did not foresee that because of the previous 2 or 3 results. It happens. Let's drop 50. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 6, 2. Doesn't matter which set. Dice out. Kissing 3s. 1, 2. 3, 5, 8. Explosion. I know there was an explosion of dice. Let's do 3, 5, 4, 5, kissing aces. The set should not matter. Dice up. 4, 2, 6. That's on axis secondary. 210. I'll drop another 10, make that 220 press. So this goes to 100, this one goes to 100, these ones get pressed up. Let's do 4, 2, 3, 2 kissing aces. I don't like being on axis on this set, but the previous result, which was off axis, 6, 2, 8 off axis. So that's 280, 305 with this. Goes to 300, 200, 250, 270. That's it. That was off axis. 6, 2, 1, 2, kissing 4s. Dice out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, that's axis. Not 25. So we're getting more and more axis biased. So it's a 1, 2, 6, 2. That was a secondary, very clear to see. Nice out. 4, 5, 9. That was implosion. We're going to follow the dice. Either a 4, 5 or a 5, 4, it doesn't matter. 4, 5. 3, 5, kissing sixes. We're on a 2 count. 1, 2. 2, 6, 8. That was off axis. Explosion of the dice. 270 pays 315. Take that to 570 and just change that. 570. So we're on 2, 6, 5, 6, kissing threes. Nice up. 6, 3, 9. The 3 is an off-axis result. Last point. 200 pays 280 plus 25, 305. Takes us to 6, 3, 1, 3, kissing twos. If we continue with the 1 off axis, we cannot 7 out. Well, famous last words, but 2 count. 1, 6. That was primary, just reset the ATS. Takes me to 1, 5, 6, 5. Two, 1, 3, another on axis. Drop 25, 3 and 2. Two, 1, 5, 1. This is the last chance, and then I have to move sets. Since I'm going to come out, I want to make sure that I don't get it wrong. 1, 2. 1, 6. Another on axis. That's a double pitch. So I'm moving now to V sets. Because I'm getting guidance. 3, 2, 3, 6, original set. That's a 2 count. 2, 3, 5. Secondary. That's the new point. Would have been a 5, 6 yo if I stayed on the other set. 3, 2, 3, 6. We got a 3 out of it, so that's why we're staying. Nice. 2, 4, 6. pays 350. We're down. We recovered some of our position, I guess, but not all of it. Three, two, three, six. Trying to keep it simple. Just asking for a 3 or a 4 in the result. 1, 3, 4, or a 3, 1, 4. It doesn't really matter. Since I got the 3, it's not going to change anything. There is 50 down. Three, two, three, six. All I ask of the result is that it has a 3 or a 4. Hard 10, nope. So what was that? That was implosion. Drop 1, get 50, and down. So from a 3, 2, 3, 6, implosion means bring the dice towards you. 5, 3, 1, 3. Still looking for a 3 or a 4 in the result. To count. 5, 6, yo, double pitch. Well, thank God that happened here because we would be looking at a 4, 3, 7. But the set requires us to go back to 3, 2, 3, 6 so that we get a 3 or a 4. Dice up. 3, 5, 8. That was an implosion of my right die. If it was that, if it was a 5, 3, 8, still, because we got the 3 out of it, it's fine. Here we go, 3, 2, 3, 6. Nice out. 1, 2. 5, 6, 0. That's a double pitch. Happens. But we need to move the dice. 5, 6, double pitch. Just move them. Which direction do we move them? It was on axis. Should we employ the 5, 3, 1, 3 and leave them like that? Let's do that. Sorry, 3, 2, 1, 3. I'm just going to quarter turn one die. I'm just mixing ideologies now. 1, 2. 2, 6, 8. 2, 3, 6. We'll go to 5, 3, 1, 3 now. Dice up. 1, 2. 2, 3, 5. We got the 3 on the. And that's point. 60. And down. So I'm just gonna stop and sort of have a discussion. We see that the dice are staying mostly on axis, whatever, so we can see there is a trend of results which supports what we are doing with the V-sets. One axis supports your sets being geared towards V-sets, cross sixes, and 2Vs. Same family produces the same 7 locations. If you can join those two words together. So that's the ideology that I'm trying to sort of, first of all, understand myself, and secondly, try and share it. Now, one set cannot produce all the numbers. If it does, it's by accident. And we want to produce numbers which are more in line with what we're betting. So for example, the 6 and the 9 have not been hit for a while. Maybe it's time for a change of set. So the last set I used was 5-3-1-3. And it produced the 3 that I wanted. So what happened to the next result? It was a 2-3-5, let's say. Rotate 2-3-5. Let's assume that was the result. Let's go to 2-6-3-6. Original set is a 1-2-1-3. Quarter turned out to 5-1-4-1 because we moved dice towards us. Dice out. 2 count. 1, 2. 3, 4, 7 come out. Can we guess which one is which? We can't. So what's the next move? Back to a 1-5-6-5. Because here we know where the numbers are. That's the beauty of this set. We know without them being the same color where they are. Their locations. I mean their locations in terms of whether we have imploded the dice, exploded the dice, etc., etc. And that's what we need. We need guidance. One, 5, 6, 5. Dice out. To count. Ace 2, that's on axis secondary. Drop 25. One, 5, 6, 5. The ace 2 is either this one here, 1, 2, or the 2, 1 here. But we know that it's on axis secondary. So we know the locations of the dice. We still support the reset. 2 count. 1, 2. 5, 3, 8 of axis. So if I had the choice of a secondary and an off axis, what would I do? I would definitely stay with the kissing set. I know that was an implosion of either die. The 5-3-8 in particular is a 7 out for the V set on its original sort of setup. And I will explain that very simply. Let's go 1, 5, 6, 5. Guys, can you see that? I think you can. There's a bit of light coming. They do kind of shine a little bit. 1, 5, 6, 5. Okay, let's put them here. If I go to 3, 5, 8, this is what happened. there was an implosion of my left eye, or there was an implosion of my right eye if it was a 5-3. In either case, let's do a 3-2-3-6. Rotate the dice to the 5-5, which was. Implode to 1-6-7, implode to 2-5-7. So I just avoided a 7 with this 3-5. It is not supporting me to go there. If I was to go there, I would have to go to a 5-3-1-3, quarter turn the dice towards me. I don't know whether it's making sense or whether it's just out there. So for the time being, please take my word, 1-5-6-5 should be the best set for you. Dice out. 4-3-7, that's a drift. Could not predict that. Obviously, I took a minute to explain whenever I was doing that kind of. All right, excuses, I know. But that was a 20 plus. I think, you know, there is some value in stopping and explaining certain things more than, you know, having the greatest draw. But all right, here we go. Benchmarking. We're gonna use a 3-6-4-6. It has the 5s kissing inside and the 2s on the outside. 6s are here, aces are here, 4 and 3 are at the bottom. Let's establish a baseline. 3-6-4-6. We need 3 throws. 1, 2. 2-3-5, that was off axis. Implosion, I know that for sure. Let's go to 2-3-5-3. It has kissing aces inside, so I know their locations. It has the 6s outside, the 3s here, the 4s here, and a 5 and a 2 at the bottom. The bets are off. 2-3-5-3 kissing aces. I'm going to do a 2 count. 1, 2. 6-1. That's a drift. For sure. I didn't lose money, I just lost the pass line. Okay, fine. Here's 50. So, I got one result, which was a drift. The second result, the one before that, was on off axis. Okay? What's the set if we were to continue to throw? It's a hardway set, 4-2-4-2. Because drifting the hardway set, it's going to give me either aces or 6s. One off axis is a non-7 result. But because we drifted, we want the next result to be a bit meaningful. So we're going to go with a 6-2-6-2. If we drift in either direction, it's going to be either hard 6 or hard 8. So this is part of aligning of what we do, aligning with the bets. 1-1. 1-4-5. The 4 was off axis. So in line with the previous result, the result before last. Just go with a 1-4-1-4. Dice up. 1 count. Hard 4. Believe it or not, that's a drift. In line with the previous result. I go to 2-1-2-1. Dice up. 1 count. 6-8. On a 2-1-2-1, that's on axis secondary. Now, always monitoring. What am I doing? What am I doing? Pace 350. Two, 6-2. Believe it or not, that's back to original set. Nice out. 1 count. 3-1-4. Off axis. In the previous one we go to 4-1-5. This one's a 3-1-4. So 200 pace. 400 for 10. We're on a 3-1-3-1 set. Hopefully, if mechanics are going well, it should give us a 6. 4-1-5. No, that was on axis. That's point. We're hoping for a 5-1-6. 400 pace 560. And 25 for the pass now. People have accused me in the past of being biased against the hard ways. I am not. It's just that my mechanics seem to be biased against the hard ways. Alright. We continue with them, 4-1-4-1, although that was on axis. Previous result was not, so 4-1-4-1. Dice out. 2-1-1. 5-3-8. That's another off axis. 5. Let's just see what we can get rid of with these big people. Height. And let's just hide. Okay, that took care of it for now. And something else I want to say to people, I see people just go for one set on the hard ways, and I try to explain again and again the same thing, that go for a set which actually gives you the results which you want to. If the 4-2-4-2 set is giving you a lot of sixes from the side, like a 6-4, 6-3, 6-2, or a 6-5, these are high numbers. Once you finish with them and you want to go to the other side of the table, what do? The simplicity of it is this. Let's say you're on a 5-4-5-4 with the sixes here, and you get a lot of results which have this number. Can give you the 8, the 9, the yo, and the 10. Brilliant, fantastic. What happens if you're downtown? Take your 6-5-6-5. Just go like so. So the aces are going to start coming out. So the 6 is going to come up, the 4, the 3 crabs, and the 5. So these are very simple kind of mechanical adjustments. It's not mechanics, it's just dice adjustments that you can do still on a hardware set, still knowing very, very well that if you were to 7 out on a 5-4-5-4, then you will 7 out on a 5-3-5-3. It's guaranteed. The 7s are located at exactly the same positions on any hardware set. Please take a moment to think about it, and take a moment to sort of stop worrying, oh, I changed sets from a 4-2-4-2 and I went to a 5-3 and 7'd out. No, you would have 7'd out on a 4-2-4-2, so just relax about it already. You know, things were going to happen on either set. Alright, enough about that. 5-3-5-3. Dice out. A 1 count. That was a beautiful toss, 5-6 yo. That's one of axis. 5-6-5-6. So I should expect a 9, 5-4-9, or 6-4-10, or a 1-4-5. The 4 should be involved basically in the next result. 1 count. No, 2-6-8. That was on axis. That's point for 60. Let's put pressure. Why not? You know, make it more interesting. 2-6-2-6. That's up. It's a 1 count. 5-2 on count, double pitch. So we're staying on axis. Second one that we're staying on axis, which means what, guys? It's not the best set to be on. We're just very lucky that it was a count, 3-2-3-6. It's going to be our starting set. What we're trying to do is prolong the roll that we have at the table. Nice. We're going to go with a 2 count. 1, 2. 6-1, that's explosion. Okay. That was a 6-1. Another 5-1, a 6-1. This explosion. So from the 3-2-3-6, we have our marching orders Explosion means move the dice cord to turn away from you. 2, 4, 6, 4. And trust that it will work. And I'm working. 2 count. Heart 6. That was a primary result. But it showed a 3 or a 4. That helps me with the next set. I'm gonna stay on a 2, 4, 6, 4. Dice out. 2 count. 4, 6, 10 or 6, 4, 10. I got the 4 that I wanted, and the 6 could be an explosion of my left die, or it could be a 4, 6, 10, which is secondary. In either case, I'm cool with it. Drop 1 for 50. 2, 4, 6, 4. Dice up. 2 count. 1, 2. 2, 4, 6. Or a 4, 2, 6. Doesn't matter as long as I see a 4 or a 6. So that pays 70, 95, or 100 for 5. Takes this to 150. 2, 4, 6, 4. Not working. Dice out. Looking for a 4 or a 3. 2 count. 5, 1, 6. That's a primary result. Takes us back to the 3, 2, 3, 6. Looking for a 3 or a 4. Dice up. 2 count. 1, 2. 3, 5, 8. Good. I think that's got 3 units, 105. I'm very happy to come down. Take off the table 225, 240. Plus that 105, 345. Thank you so much. As you can see, I'm not in it for the money, I'm in it for the long roll. And one of my techniques is to take the pressure down when it comes to bets so that I have more focus on what I'm doing. Original set. So we're on the 6, we just hit the 8. Three, 2, 3, 6. You have a 2 count. 1, 2. 1, 2. 3, 6, 9. Oh, I left that by accident, so I'm just going to get paid 35. This was there by accident. And I will do my usual super power pressing by $5 each on the outside. On original sets, 3236. We are on a 2 count. 1, 2, 3, 3, hard 6. And just do this carefully. That's point for 60. Just be, I'll spoil the 6. I'll just put up $6 on it extra. Really pushing those bets up, power pressing them. Here we go. Still on original sets, 3236. Not working the counts. 3236, 2 count. 1, 2. That's a 538, I think. We got a 3 out of it, which is nice. All right. Original set 3236. Nice out. One, 2, 5, 2, 7. That was okay. I had a 4-3 facing me. So that was an explosion of my, I think it was an explosion of my right die. Hi, what's up, Ted? Oh, that was a nice comment. I hope I'm not boring the living daylights out of you guys, because I'm beginning to talk about more. I'm going to try and explain the method to my madness. Hey Waylon, good morning, how are you? So let's just have a look at what stats are telling us about, what we're doing. We're 62.7 box numbers, 52 inside and 10.4 4s and 10s. There were a lot of come out 7s. Most of them were in the beginnings of shots, and that's fine because that's where we start benchmarking our shots. But you can actually see that there is a trend towards the low side of the table with no snake eyes involved, but just a lot of 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s and 8s. Then after that, because of the sets that I've been using, the 3, 2, 3, 6, you can see how the graph is biased. It's kind of biased towards the low side of the table as opposed to the high side. So what if, for the sake of argument, we changed our sets and we went to something like a 4-6-4-2, which is the opposite, the exact opposite of the 3v, 3-2-3-6. We shall do that, but not right now, because we need to benchmark ourselves with a 1565. The 1565, or any casing set, is the best benchmarking tool that we can have with same color dice, because it contains the hardware is on the outside, in this case the 3, so we know if we implode a die, it will come, the result will contain a 3. If we explode a die, it's going to contain a 4, and the rest of the numbers we can just say they're on axis secondary, primary, double pitch even, so those are the numbers which are very simple to guess without actually knowing whether it's a 5-2 or a 2-5. You actually know it's a double pitch. If you get a 12, 6-6, you know you double pitch. If you get aces, you know you double pitched. So it does give you all the information you need. If you drift the dice, it's going to give you a 4-3 or a 3-4. Direction of the drift is irrelevant, because all these dice movements in terms of become very important in terms of V-sets and hardways. Here we go, 1565. Dice up. We're going to use a 2 count. 1, 2, 6, 1. So that's primary. It's a primary result. 1565. So it's telling me right now you should be on V sets. If on axis secondary or primary, be on V sets. 2 count. 1, 2. That's a 5-1-6 secondary. Still telling me be on V sets. 5-1-1-5 is the same. But what we're going to change now, we're going to go to a 4-6-4-2 set and see whether it actually affects our results towards the high side. So let's start with 6, 8, 9, 10. So this is part of aligning ourselves, or aligning our bets with the results that we had. So we're going to use a 4-6-4-2. So we'll go to 5-1-6 secondary. Dice out. 2 count. 4-5-9. That's a secondary result, but we don't know that for sure. We just know that it contains a 4, which is the most important interpretation at this point in time. So 420, we are aligning bets higher as opposed to lower. 1, 2. We're staying on a 4-6-4-2 set because we saw the 4 or the 3 turn up. Dice up. 2 count. 1, 2. 4-2-6. That's a secondary as well. We don't know that for sure. It could be a 2-4-6. But what we do know is that we got a 4 out of it. Now we're on the 6. Okay. So that's 350, 375. Or 400 for 25. And we can come down. But notice how our betting is going to change. we're gonna go much smaller on the 6, 5, 4 and much higher on the 9 and 10. 8, 9, 10, sorry. We are bias pressing based on what? Based on the results that the 3V3236 gave us. 4, 6, 4, 2. We're staying on the set because it's producing 4s and potentially 3s, hopefully separately. 2 count, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, okay. Stay on the set because we contain a 3 in the result. 4, 6, 4, 2. That's it. Two count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 4. Drop 5, get 4 and 50. Gonna go 4 and 10. I'm gonna press more towards the left side as opposed to the right side. 4, 2, 4, 6, 4, 2. The reason why we're leaving the set alone is that it produces 3s and 4s. Dice out. 2 count. 1, 2. Hard 8. That's a primary. For sure. So that has 60 pace 70. Take this to the back. 4, 6, 4, 2. What we're looking for is a 4 and a 3, or a 3, sorry. Dice out. 2 count. 1, 2. Hard 10. So we need to adjust the dice now. But you can actually see that the numbers now trying to show up on the higher side as opposed to the lower. For 3, I think they'll need 4 for 150. I'll take everything down to 1 unit. I am happy enough to take off the table 200 plus and put that in my rack. So, what happened here? The 5 showed up. The 5 is an implosion of my, with certainty, with great certainty, the 5 is an implosion of my left eye. So what do I do with implosions? Well, I start with the original set, 4, 6, 4, 2. An implosion means move the dice towards me quarter turn. It's the same set, but 1, 4, 5, 4. Dice out. Still looking to get a 4 or a 3. 1, 2. Boxcars. What was that? That was an explosion of my right die. And that resets everything back to 4, 6, 4, 2. I don't want to take very drastic kind of action. To count. 6, 4, 10, got the 4. And I think slowly we're beginning to see something here. We're beginning to see that the results are affected towards the high side. And that's simply by just rearranging our dice in a way that sort of shifts the bias from the low side towards the high side. The rest of the results, as you can see, are either on axis or they contain a 4 or a 3, which is the basis of, my new ideology. Pay 50, come down. So what do we need? We need a yo. I'm not gonna go after it. Just gonna continue. 6, 4, 2. I think I was on original sets. I was. Dice out. 2 count. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. This one is either a double pitch or a drift. And this is where my ideology has to decide what am I going to do. If it was a drift, the idea should be to stay on the set. If it was a double pitch without a 4 or a 3, we should be moving to the other set, which would be either a 6-3-2-3 or a 1-4-5-4. So I'm going to stay in the middle of it all and just go 4-6-4-2. 2 count. 1, 2. 6-1. I should have moved. And I should have moved towards me to a 1-4-5-4. It's these things that every ideology has a hole, and I have to work it out. But what is the result here? That was a what? I didn't put the result. 6-1. That was a 12. Okay, so we have an SOR of 13.2. We make the mistakes at the beginning with the SRR because most of them come out 7s. I have 9 come out 7s and 6 7 outs in 79 rolls. This should give you an idea that the come out rolls are very important, and therefore you should try and benchmark yourself with them. My roadmap to that effect is going to be to use kissing sets because they give me complete information about dice behavior to begin with, as opposed to a hardware set, whereby if you're on a 5-4-5-4, for the sake of argument, Ted uses this set. You have dice doing 2 things. Let's say you get a 6-5 yo, which is either an implosion of your left die, or it could be an explosion of your right die. How do you actually interpret that without tracking the dice? Whereas if I'm on a 1-5-6-5 set, for example, and I get a 3-5-8, I know immediately that either the left or the right die imploded. If I get a 459, I know that either the right or the left eye exploded. So it's more information giving me more information about what my mechanics are doing. And if I have more information about what my mechanics are doing, then I can actually choose a set for that particular 2 or 3 starting rolls. That will at least not 7 me out immediately, or at least give me a better chance to withstand the couple more rolls. So I'm still working on this. I cannot be certain 100%, but what I'm showing you is just fact. It's on the dice themselves. I'll do a 555 ATS. No need for the 20. I wanted to say something to Ted. I saw the latest video that came out. I don't know whether Ted is still here. Oh, he is. I think. I think Ted was using his 5454 set, which is something that David Same Bed uses as one of his favorite sets. And what I did notice was that apart from a 628 that he got, which could be either a 268 or a 628, which was off axis and potentially a problem. Maybe it wasn't. No, it wasn't a problem. Never mind. He was staying on axis, so much so that I was thinking, Ted, consider V sets. Consider them, please. Just consider them, please, please, please. And I think his 7 out was a 4-3, which could have been avoided as one of the faces facing you. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I was just begging him through the video to consider using V sets, or definitely not kissing sets, but definitely either V sets, cross sixes, etc. Any experienced shooter should not have any discriminatory feelings towards any families of the sets, simply because mechanics actually do change over a period of a session, due to being tired, due to being excited, due to. So we're still high on the low side, but I think we're coming up a little bit more on the high side now, simply because we changed the set. All right. I'm gonna go with a 6414. It's a kissing set. It has kissing 5s inside. The 2s are on the outside. Hard 8, hard 6 here, and a 167 at the bottom. I'll be doing a 2 count and explaining the results or the behavior of the dice. 2 count. 1, 2. 1, 5, 6. So we know one of the dice exploded. That's all we know, but that's enough. 6414. Just invest a 640 across, couple of hits. Although I'm not sure yet. Going off axis with this set is fine. 2 count. 1, 2. 4, 2, 6. And a 1 die exploded. Sorry, imploded. And that's put. Oh, I didn't. was a 1-5. 1-5 and 4-2. So that's 140, 155 in total. Take the 100 and invest outside. Currently doing 2 hits and down. 6-4, 1-4. Kissing 5s. One, 2. Heart 6. That's a primary on axis. Thank you for the pack remaining there. 6-4, 1-4. 2 count. One, 2. 6-5 yo. That's an off axis. So now I have to make a decision. Do I go with hard weights or do I stay with the kissing sets? Here is something that I just thought about. Where's the 4-2-6? Oh my god. Oh. That's a 4-2, that's a 3-3, and that's a 6-5. Okay. Because I got the result 1-5, then a 2 on the outside. The 2 are interchanging roles, and then I got a 6-5. I'm thinking maybe I should stay on the kissing sets. 6-4, 1-4. That's all. 1, 2, 6-1, and that was a mistake. That's a primary result with a 5-2 drift facing me. So this one means what? I should have been on hard ways. Tough decisions. Let's drop another 15 and 15 ATS. Straight to a 3-2-3-6. Dice out. 2 count. 1, 2. That's a 5-6 yo double pitch. Or a 6-5. Pays 15. I'm gonna go to 4-5, 4-6. If I double pitch, I'll get the 2-6-8 or the 1-5-6. 3-6-9. That's secondary. It contains a 3. I'm happy with that. I'm going very low on the low side, very high on the high side. 4, 6, 4, 2. Looking for 4s, looking for 3s separately. That is up. 1, 2. 2, 6, 8. Nope. It's probably either an explosion of both dice or a 6 to 8 primary. So, pay 700. Let's go to our 4, 6, 4, 2. Explosion of both dice means move the dice away from you. 6, 3, 2, 3. Dice up. 1, 2. 3, 1, 4. Got the 3 out of it. 5 pays 200. Gonna press the 10. 6, 3, 2, 3. 3, 1 was on axis, I think. No, it was implosion. Ooh. Dice out. Dice out. 1, 2. Aces. Another implosion. So we move back to original sets. 4, 6, 4, 2. Left die is doing, right die is doing their tricks, imploding, so that's a bit dangerous. But if we have a 4 or a 3, that should be okay. 2 count. 1, 2. 4, 2, 6, okay. $350. We're off the table. We took 700 plus 2 is 900, 350 is 1250. Going for 2 units on the 8 and 6. The rest is lower. The expectation is that the higher numbers are going to benefit. 4, 6, 4, 2. Just looking for the 4s and the 3s. Dice up. 1, 2. 3, 5, 8. 5, 3, 8. Doesn't matter as long as I see a 3 or a 4. Pay 17. For 6, for 2. Dice up. 1, 2. That's a 3, 6, 9. We saw a 3, that's good by me. That's point. 105, 120. Oh, 125 for 5. Make these 100. Cool. So we're putting pressure on ourselves in a couple of ways. First of all, I'm trying to prove a point that using the 4642 is going to attract more hits on the high side as opposed to the low side. I think Vince calls it uptown as opposed to downtown. And secondly, we're trying to support this idea that if you see a 4 or a 3 in the result on a 3V set, then that's a good indicator and you should stick to the set, as opposed to if you don't see it, quarter turn the dice accordingly to whether the die exploded or imploded. For 6, for 2. Not working on a come out. Or a 2 count. That's a 4-2-6. So we saw the 4, that's cool. 4-6-4-2. Dice out, 2 count. Five, 6, yo. It's either a drift or a double pitch. If it's a 6-5. But we can support the idea that we're hitting higher side numbers. Gonna stick to it for 6-4-2. Hard 8, good idea. $120 pays, 140 or 150 for 10. Now we can come down. It's one thing to support an idea, it's another to just bet crazy and sort of forget about being humble and letting go and not being focused. I teach something quite different. For 6-4-2. I try to teach people to focus on their shooting. Never have I ever tried to sort of sell a strategy or say anything about a strategy. So this is the way for me. Prolong the roll. Try not to surrender the dice. For 6-4-2, looking for 4 or 3. 4-2-6 or 2-4-6. That's point. I pay 60. Oh, sorry, 50. Let's do our super power pressing. 20 $22 inside. For 642. Dice up. To count. 358. We got a 3 out of it, so that's cool. Staying on original sets, 4, 6, 4, 2. Dice up. 2, 6, 8. That's explosion of both dice. So that pays 42. Plus 15, 52, 57, okay, so that's 55, 7. We're going to do the same power press, super power press, everything on the inside. I know a lot of you are laughing. It is encouraged for 6 for 2. So that was an explosion of both dice. We're going to move the dice to a 6-3-2-3 position away from us, basically. An explosion calls for an away from us kind of reaction. 6-3-2-3. 415. Six, 3, 2, 3. If it was a 4-1-5, just avoided the one aces, okay. 6-3-2-3. 2 count. 2-5-7. So that was a what? Explosion of my left eye. With the aces facing, by the way. Alright. So that was a what? That was a, I can't see, maybe 15, 16. So, not too bad. I'd say I'm quite happy with the way I've been shooting. No ATS, nothing like that today. But I believe the rolling was more sort of focused, a bit more predictable. The bankroll will say that we did very well. In total, we're at 5,100 in blacks. $5,005, 35, 37. 5,537. which means 4,537 in profit. So not too bad. And I know it's a bit, how should I put this? It's a bit tiring, and yes, it does get me tired to think about these things because they're fresh ideas. I'm trying to make them part of my my routine so that they're not tiring anymore. It just becomes second nature. But I suppose this is the next level of evolution for myself. You know, just trying to be a little bit more specific about, okay, you're using V sets. Are you going to use the primary sets on the top, the hard sixes or the hard fours, or the box cars if you're on cross sixes, or the twos or the fives if you're on 2V? Or are you going to turn them? The question then becomes, okay, which way do you quarter turn them? Do you quarter turn them towards you or away from you? And there is an answer to that based on your previous result. So this is what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to make it more automatic, but it will take a lot of time. If I have a small run of on-axis rolls, I'm too afraid to change because I believe I will quickly return to one die of axis. Okay, so to reply to you, I would rather not reply to you, but to direct you to any video which talks about probability theory. Let's not talk about what you're doing, but let's talk more about what probability theory dictates. And I think there are several sort of several videos out there demonstrating this thing where you have 3 cups. I don't have 3 cups, I only have 2. So you have 3 cups and somebody puts something underneath one of the cups and you have to guess which one it is. So you take a guess and you don't get it right, so they reshuffle them back. Probability dictates that you should choose a different one as opposed to the same one. In the same way, I am not preaching, I'm just trying to share with you that even if you don't believe that your results are going to be better based on what you're afraid of, probability comes to your help and says to you, you're better off changing. In the same way, you're better off changing die sets within the same family, because they will yield different results, probably sort of direct you closer and closer to an ATS and make it more possible for you to hit the full ATS, because different numbers are produced. But at the same time, if your mechanics are there, if you avoid a 7 on a V set, you will avoid a 7 on a cross sixes or on 2 V set. So the idea is that, you know, everything comes together. Everything will come together, guys. And it is up to you to observe the dice in a way that makes sense to you, and to come to some conclusions about whether what I'm telling you is, you know, off the wall or whether it's not. Anyway, I'm just trying to educate people and give them a lot more knowledge, basically, about dice, their behavior, the positions of the 7s in particular sets, and what to do to try and, you know, prolong your roll. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I hate the words influencing, controlling. I'm just trying to give you information which is right there, it's on the dice, and it's right there in your mechanics. Because I do believe that people have muscle memory, they have dice familiarity, and they throw in a certain way. All I have discovered which is different is that muscle memory will fail you or will change over a session, even over a hand. And the experienced person will actually see it because he understands dice behavior and he expects or predicts certain results within a certain sort of regional results to happen. And if they don't, and if he's lucky that it wasn't a 7, then he has the opportunity and the probability on his side to actually change the sets that he's using in order to align himself, first of all, with the results, and secondly, to align himself with his bets. All right, I think I said enough. I think it's too deep and it's really tiring me trying to articulate what I'm thinking. So thank you again, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you rest well tonight, and yeah, thanks. You're welcome, Ted. And I hope to see you again in the afternoon. This is George. Thanks, are out.